Come with me, Jake Turner, as I travel the back roads talking with your neighbors and crop experts about best practices in weed control in soybeans. All you need is a minute, an authority minute. The Ag PhD Field Day in Baltic, South Dakota is one of the biggest in the Midwest. Join me as we check out field trials with agronomy manager Mike Homandberg of Hefty Seed Company. Mike, thanks for having us out here.
You bet.
Could you tell us a little about these field trials here at Ag PhD?
Now what we have here is we have the authority treated products to our right. We have the untreated rows to our left here. We do these plots across the upper Midwest here, just kind of a show off or a show trial for all our customers to see.
Looking at these nice rows here that were treated with authority, what kind of weed pressure are you getting in the rows that weren't treated?
Now we're seeing your ragweed, we're seeing common and giant, we're seeing the water hemp, we're seeing the lamb's quarter, our predominant weeds that we're fighting.
And is that the same sort of pressure you're seeing in the fields with the growers you work with as far as using a post only versus using a pre?
Yes, yeah, our producers that are using a post only, they just fight them to a greater extent than the ones that are just using the pre or using a pre.
So here we are in Baltic, and you're making recommendations to local growers based on these field trials. How do you go about doing that?
What we like to do is we like to get them down here so they can take a personal look at it, see it for themselves, realize that maybe they're not the only ones that are having some issues out there with the weeds.
And seeing is believing, right?
Correct.
So what would you say to a grower who can't make it up here for the Ag PhD Field Day about going to a field trial in their area?
Well, most of our stores in the upper Midwest here, we do trials, replicated trials at our own stores also. So they're more than welcome to come to those stores. We can take them out for a tour if they want. It just really, truly, when you see it, it makes a lot more sense when you see the clean fields as compared to the dirty ones.
And looking at growers this season, 2013 was a great year to show them how important it is to use a pre. Were there any surprises that the growers in your area encountered that showed them why a pre is so important?
With the post-only program, what we're seeing there, we've had intermittent rains that have made it impossible to spray on every day that you'd like to. So a weed that was 3 inches on the day you intended to spray it turned into a 6-inch weed when you could get out there then.
It's really showing the value of starting clean, staying clean, right?
Absolutely, yes it is.
And then what recommendations would you make going forward for growers that have only used a post-management program about using a pre next year?
That if they want a clean field come fall, a pre is absolutely necessary to do it.
Mike, thank you so much. Really
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it.
You're welcome.
As Mike said, the increase in resistant weed pressure makes the use of a pre like authority mandatory for weed management. But seeing is believing. We encourage you to contact your local FMC Star retailer to visit a field trial in your area. This is Jake Turner reminding you to be safe out there. See you down the road when you have a minute, an authority minute.